buddy.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Woo.
First show of the new year up in this motherfucker.
Yes, indeed.
Already starting off with like technical difficulties. I was a little late too. I had breakfast this morning with my lady, and she had a couple of mimosas. So, she's feeling a little tipsy-turvy.
Oh.
There's a motion in her ocean, as they say.
Oh, well. Hey, it's still the New Year.
Still the New Year.
And it's the weekend, so.
And it's the weekend, right?
I like the fact that I had a 3-day work week for the second week in a row.
Nice.
I know, hell yeah.
Hey, so we back. Saturday morning conversation live from the Wood Grain Studios.
Yes, indeed.
We got special guest Amanda Owens-Janes, sexpert or relationship expert.
Yes.
Relationships are more than just sex, people.
It really and truly is.
Really is. So those who think that it's just about, sex and money and having a good time, I mean,
that's
that
the
too.
dream.
Yeah. But, there's also like hard work that needs to get done. So we're going to get into that.
Bills to pay, emotions to listen to.
Right?
Yeah, man.
So we're going to get into that in just a minute. We're just setting up the Skype situation.
So what you do for New Year?
Man, we kept it low key, man. Went out to eat, had some nice dinner.
All right.
And
Where'd you go?
went to Los Andes.
Yeah, I gotta go to Los Andes, man. Yeah, that's right around the corner from my mother's house, and I gotta go to #label out. Yeah, that's a real nice restaurant from everything that I hear. So, so what else? Like,
That's it, man. Then we went home. I mean, here's the plan.
alright.
I worked in clubs my whole life, right? Mm-hmm. So, well, not my whole life, but a large majority of my life has been working in nightclubs. Mm-hmm. I've either had to DJ or be working every New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Last year, we went to Foxwoods. That was cool. Mm-hmm. But this year, I was like, I don't really give a shit. But my lady wanted to go out. And I was like, well, let me know what we're doing. I just would rather go home and
relax
and
watch Ryan Seacrest on Let the Ball Drop, or Steve Harvey in the Rain.
Yeah, whatever, something. Just a nice low key night.
See Don Lemon get Don Lemon drunk.
But she didn't really have a plan. She never thought about a plan, or she just decided she wanted to stay in too. So when I was like, what are we doing? She was like, I don't know. And I was like, well,
sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Because at 40, I don't want to be out there with the amateurs. It was a nice dinner with my lady. We had some friends, other people were there. It was good. We got a little saucy.
Hey.
And then went home like proper adults. And
But like 2 o'clock?
did adult things.
Well, yeah, you don't have to.
No, we're just going to leave it at that.
Yeah,
adult things.
Yeah, true.
Meanwhile, shout out to my girl right now, because she got me. Like, okay, so here's the situation. I'm good about, like, touching her inappropriately, like smacking her ass in public and shit. Waiting for there to be people around and saying stuff like, babe, we can't have sex in aisle 5. Like, if people just kind of look at us. So, the other day, we were in Tarjay.
Tarjay, pinky out.
Tarjay, pinky out. And we're looking for, what do you call that stuff? The foot spray, the Lotrim and shit. Mm-hmm. Or whatever. And
Tough acting, tenactin.
Yeah.
#label out.
Boom. So, next to all the stuff that's on the rack is some shit called monkey butt.
Oh, yeah.
So she goes. Meanwhile, there's like a lady like that works there. There's like stacking shit on it. There's like 4 people in the aisle. Mm-hmm. And she was like,
just with some busy work.
Right. And she was like, babe, this is the monkey butt stuff. You need this for your butt, for the thing that you got. And I was like, what? I don't fucking have. And the lady behind us was like, no, it's for chafing. I was like, no, you don't understand. She was like, yeah. So you can put it on your butt for like your hemorrhoids and your chafing. And, because you got that serious thing going on.
Smear it liberally on your fingers.
Yeah. Like, straight had me out there, like, just looking like a jerk. Just Just like, because now I'm defending that I don't have like hemorrhoids. And then the Walmart lady, the Target lady, it was Walmart. The Walmart lady's like, no, it's for chafing. It was invented. She's giving me like the whole background history on it. And I'm like, yo, but I really need this. And she's like, babe, don't forget to put this in the carriage. She like put it in the carriage on me. Like she took it all the way to the end. So shout out to my girl. Just want you to know, payback.
So wait, you didn't check for any latex gloves to smear on the monkey butt?
We didn't buy the monkey butt, man. The moral to the story is that we didn't buy the monkey butt.
Oh, okay. Nah, see, yeah, I like to do some stupid shit like that too sometimes. Say, hey, babes, which lubricant should we get? Which one should we get when we're inside like CVS or some shit? Because when you're waiting in line at this one particular CVS, when you're waiting in line, yeah, in the aisle of the prophylactics and all the lubricants and all of that kind of shit. So I like to look at them and I like to say, oh, so which one you want to go with? And it's like, shh, people can hear it. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But they need to be minding their fucking business. No, but you're talking too loud. They can hear you. You know you're not whispering quiet. Yeah, I know. I'm doing it on purpose. Let them mind their own fucking business.
Yeah, it's just fun. Yeah. You got to keep it playful, man.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
We'll
get into these other motherfuckers later. There's a lot of bullshit happening out there right now.
Oh yeah.
I think the world finally caught up to R. Kelly. Lifetime put out that whole situation with him.
The fact that he called himself the Pied Piper of R&B, and now many years later, people are starting to be like, "Wait, didn't the Pied Piper take the children when he didn't get paid for clearing out all the rats from the town?"
Right.
So when he didn't get paid due that he believed he was supposed to get paid, he came for your kids. So he called himself the Pied Piper for so long, and now people want to be like, "Oh wait, he's out there taking my daughter."
Now making that connection.
Yeah, they're now making that connection.
They were blinded by the hits.
Yeah.
They were blinded by the hits.
Yeah.
Because R. Kelly got a lot of hits, man.
Feeling on your booty, going half on a baby. You remind me of my Jeep.
The whole In the
Summer
Closet
Bunnies.
series, Summer Buddies, Honey Love.
Honey Love. 12 play.
12 play. Like R. Kelly got hits. Move your body like a snake.
Oh, yes.
With your boy Big Tig.
Oh my goodness. Fiesta.
The whole Best of Both Worlds album.
Oh my goodness. There's a length of hits.
For like the whole like 90s, 2000s, I'm surprised he ain't put a hit record. Like he's like right now, he's in the studio. Guaranteed.
Probably.
There's about to be some new R. Kelly shit coming out.
Oh, yeah.
To try to like move this shit to the side. Because when he came out, when he married Aaliyah, boom, he dropped the album.
Yep.
Shit went away. When it was like, oh, R. Kelly's pissing on little kids, he was like,
in the closet,
drop the album, or in the closet, or whatever. Shit went away.
Yo,
I don't think a new record's gonna save him this time, though.
Nah, he's gonna be under the bridge now. So yeah. he's gonna be the troll under the bridge. It's gonna be some stupid shit like that. But hey, he's gonna come out with a hit. And he can believe he can fly. Some shit like that.
He's not the only famous dude to fuck with super young girls.
Oh no, this is nothing brand new.
Like it's kind of like because they were talking about how Elvis had like when he married Priscilla Presley, she was like 17. Mm-hmm. What's his name?
Great Balls of Fire guy.
David Lee Roth.
Not
David Lee Roth.
No, that's not his name. No, but it's always been that way. Because even when we went to school in Bishop, there was always older dudes talking to younger chicks, and younger chicks always wanted to make themselves feel older and mature by being with the older dude. So if I'm, like 2 months younger than she is, I'm too immature. She's going to talk to the guy that's 4 years older than she is. And that was cool back then. So R. Kelly and his whole type of attitude and his way of being is nothing new.
It's nothing new. It's still gross as fuck.
It is.
Because like I've never at any time
that's taking advantage.
Yeah, I've never at any time wanted to fuck with young girls. No. So I don't understand like how that works. But like in the music industry, it just seems to be.
Oh yeah, real prevalent. It's out there.
Regular. It's what motherfuckers do.
Yeah, it's the norm. Yeah.
Like, I got me some young groupie chicks over here.
Oh, wait. She gets a fake ID so she could go to the club and hang out and then try to get backstage to meet him, knowing that, number one, she's underage, right? She's not even supposed to be there in the first place, but yet, someway, there's always a time and an era when this has happened. And they will get backstage, and then they basically say, oh, he took advantage of me.
This is the thing, though. Like,
how did you get to this position in the first place?
As soon as you find out that she's young, you got to leave that shit alone.
Yeah.
Like, according to this little documentary shit, Kel was, like, notorious for, like, yo, you about to come to Chicago. Like, what were these parents? You just letting your, like, 16-year-old daughter go to Chicago with R. Kelly?
Yeah. Well,
like, you ain't going on that trip, too, to make sure everything is, like, gravy train?
It's what's like a school trip. Make sure you sign your permission slips.
And then his whole staff knew about this shit.
Yeah.
Like, nobody outed this nigga. Or when they tried to out him, he would just drop a hit record.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like the whole, like, Trump situation.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Trump say some wild shit, and everybody's, like, outraged. And then, boom, some shit happens over here.
Some sanctions.
You know, maybe.
Oh, sanctions are coming.
Maybe Trump is behind this whole R. Kelly situation.
Oh.
Like, right now. Like, R. Kelly did what R. Kelly did. But he been under the radar for mad long. But now the word's fucked up.
Well, he is working with that pastor, that shady-ass pastor Trump is. You ever see that shady-ass pastor that's always behind him? The dude that looks like BB Pumper, the porn star? Like, oh, man, you got this porn star pastor behind you, and, like, he's supposed to be the guy talking to the gangs in the streets of Chicago. Like, yeah, I'm going to bring them together, and me and Trump, we're going to squash all the gang violence. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just going to talk to R. Kelly, and then you're going to have R. Kelly drop a song to take away from all the bullshit that Trump is doing.
Yes, R. Kelly, we need a hit.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to make us a hit? Guess what's about to come out?
Hey, Robert. He doesn't even call him R. Kelly. He just calls him Robert. Hey, Robert. He's a real square-ass motherfucker.
All right, so we're up against it since we started late. So we're gonna get a good friend of the Saturday Morning Conversation podcast on the line.
All right.
Let me just get her up on the Skype here. Mm-hmm. You haven't Skyped on chat yet. How the fuck do you do this? There we go.
All right. All right. Okay.
Hang on.
Still with you.
How are you?
Ah, there we are. Can you hear us?
I got you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Bonus.
All right.
All right, so something's happening here in my earphones.
That sounds like an echo.
Can you hear the echo, Amanda?
Nope.
Excellent. That's all that matters.
All right.
Okay.
All right, so we have the world famous. Are we going by Owen James or Lambros?
Amanda Lambros.
Lambros.
Yep.
All right, so we have Amanda Lambros, world renowned. Now, we've been debating. Are we calling you a sex therapist? Are we calling you a relationship specialist? Like, what is your official title?
I am a sexologist.
Okay.
Oh shit, sexologist.
Sexologist. That's
So-
what my degree's in. So I'm a sexologist, but everyone likes to call me the relationship educator.
A relationship educator.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Because it's a lot less scary than saying you're a therapist.
true.
True. Very true.
Yeah, because
Sorry,
therapist
guys,
looks
we're
like
just going to go get educated. We're not getting therapy. We're just getting educated.
yeah. Plus, therapist looks like the rapist on some cases, and that's
Yeah,
kind of scary.
exactly.
You don't want to go to the rapist when you want to go to talk about your relationship issues.
Got that right.
So let's give the people a little bit of background on you. Tell us, just take a couple seconds and give us the quick rundown.
Well, I'm Canadian born and bred, and then about 17 years ago, moved over to Australia to do a master's degree in forensic sexology. Absolutely loved it. Finished my degree on a Wednesday. Went out partying on a Friday like you do to celebrate, because that's the kind of girl I was and kind of still am. Met husband that night. And I've lived in Australia ever since.
Nice.
Congratulations.
So that's my lowdown. So I worked as a clinical supervisor in counseling, and I worked as an academic. So I was a senior lecturer at a university for nearly 15 years.
Oh, word. So you're definitely qualified to tell people how to better their relationships.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
And to me, it's something I love doing. Like, relationships is the thing that I've done all my life. That is like the big thing for me. So my undergrad was in pre-med and psychology, and then health sciences, and then I studied couples. I got a master's degree in counseling, and then what else? I recently did a TED Talk on relationships as well. So I'm a TED speaker.
Nice.
And I've published a few books, and it's all on relationships.
That's what's up. So going back to the TED Talk, I listened to it.
I watched it as well.
We watched it as well. My lady watched it. Super good. Where you talk about basically like the quick summary is that it's about like the importance of like going on like real dates and keeping the relationship fresh. How did you get to the TED Talk level? Like, did they call you? Do you have to like seek them out?
Well, they called me, which was kind of cool. I'm not going to lie about that. I've been wanting to do a TED Talk, I'm going to say for years, like 4 or 5 years. I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. And then every time I've kind of like gone to go, ooh, nah, oh, maybe not, nah. But then this year they called me and they said, listen, your name's come up quite a few times in conversation, and we know that you're the go-to person for this topic. So would you be interested in doing this? And I'm like, yes, I would. And they're like, we're not really sure if you know who we are. I'm like, oh, yeah, don't you worry. I know who you are. So, but I have to say that there was a lot more prep than I expected. So that kind of surprised me a bit.
Nice.
I thought it was just like, you know your topic, get up there, talk about it. But it was like, you know your topic, make sure the research supports it, make sure you know it as a flawless, 17-minute speech or 14-minute speech, whatever it is. Practice it a bazillion times. Do it in front of a whole bunch of different people at different occasions. And then you can go.
Nice. So how did you land on that specific topic? Like, is that like the thing that you work on the most as a relationship therapist, is like getting folks to like really get back out and like spend time with each other? Is it?
I guess the thing that happens is because I'm a sexologist, right? So a lot of people say to me, they come through my door because the word sexology is on my door. So most of the time, by the time someone goes and sees a therapist, it's like, shit's hit the fan. They really need some help. So by the time they see me, because I have sexology on the door, it's usually because they ain't having sex anymore. So it's like, we'd love to have sex, but we're not having sex. And so let's go see a sexologist because she'll fix it for us. And then they come in and I say, it's a cool thing that you've come in for that reason, but the reason you're not having sex is because you're no longer intimate. And the reason you're no longer intimate is because you're no longer communicating. And one of the best ways to communicate is to continue to go on dates as a couple. But then people roll their eyes and they're like, yeah, but what are we going to talk about? Come on now. There's bazillions of things to talk about on a date. You just have to be creative enough and, follow certain rules.
Now, I know there's certain landmines when being on a date. You don't want to say something that is going to, quote unquote, trigger the other person. Like, so watching your TED Talk, you were saying about talking about what would you rather be chased by, a lion, a tiger, or a bear?
Yeah.
So that is a nice way. And like you was also saying in the TED Talk is that going to the movies isn't really an acceptable date because you're just basically sitting next to the person. The only kind of level of communication that happens maybe after the movie when you say, oh, can you believe they did such and such? Oh, can you believe that such and such did that in the movie? And then, but what would be some other suggestions for dates to go on to actually spark conversation?
So anything that you actually just have one-on-one time.
Okay.
So, like, it's going to sound weird. Like, I wouldn't call it a date by any stretch of the means, but I had to drive recently up to Toronto. And from where I grew up, it's a 4-hour drive.
Mm.
So I was in a car with my husband for 4 hours. And some people roll their eyes and go, oh, my God, I could not even imagine being stuck in a car with my husband for 4 hours. We'd have nothing to talk about. We talked the entire time.
Mm.
So it was like, you know, we'd have music on in the background. We might hear a song or, you know, something was said on the song. And I'm like, I don't know if I'd react that way. You know, like, and so it would just, you know, create conversation. But dates could be anything. You know, like you go down to the park, you sit on a park bench, I don't know, if you feed ducks or, you know, whatever. Or you go jogging together, you have a conversation. You go down to the ocean, sit down on a blanket and look at the ocean and have a conversation. So it's any time that you don't have interrupted conversation.
Okay. How do you avoid the triggers, though? And if you fall into one of those traps, how do you get out of the trap?
Okay, so here's the cool thing, is that I love that you pull up triggers, because that's an important thing. That's usually what causes some conflict in relationships. And so when you don't want conflict in relationships, what you need to do is you need to know that you're both coming from a really positive point, that you're not there to harm each other and you're not there to harm the relationship. And that's important. So if no matter what is coming out of my mouth towards you, if you're my partner, and you know that no matter what is coming out of my mouth is not meant to harm you or our relationship, you see that automatically in a different light.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
It makes a lot of sense. Yes, it does.
But what happens, right, is that people get emotionally involved. That's what a relationship is.
Yes.
A relationship is emotions. So you get emotionally involved with something, and then someone says something to you, like your partner says something, and it might be like, you know, maybe one less brownie, babe. You know, something like that.
She's like, fuck you. Let me eat this brownie.
You got that right. So, depending on the emotion that you're currently feeling, you might be like, boy, shut your mouth. Like, I'll eat as many damn brownies as I want, thank you very much. Or you might go, oh, really? How come? Well, because one less brownie gives me a brownie left. You know, like, but what happens is we don't ask those questions.
Right, you just go right to the fight.
Yeah, right to the fight, because it's like a fight or flight response, right? So you're like, you hear the word, and you guys both did it. I'm like, oh, one less brownie. You're like, oh, man, that's a trigger.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be, but, you know, shit. I like brownies, too. Like, don't eat all the fucking brownies.
Yeah,
exactly, right? Hey, babe, one less brownie. Well, why? Because I want that other brownie.
Yeah.
You know, but what happens is if people don't think that you having this open, honest, genuine conversation that's not meant to harm each other or the relationship, they'll get their back up against the wall and be like, screw you, I'm going to eat all the brownies. And don't you be talking about my weight. There's nothing wrong with my weight. And it's like, holy shit, I never even mentioned your weight. Right. I just said it because I wanted a brownie.
I just want a brownie.
Exactly what you were saying.
Yeah, how do you get out of that trap though? Now, once you're in that trap, now, how do you get out?
You must find yourself in that trap a lot, man.
No. And that's what out of respect for my lady, I didn't want to make it seem like I was talking from a place of personal and putting our business out there. Out of respect for her, I don't want it to seem like my questions are tailored just for her. But based off what I've seen, some of my friends and their relationships and how they've gotten into a pigeonhole and they come to me, I'm like, well, you just need to talk to your lady, because talking to me is not really resolving the issue.
It's not going to help.
It's not going to help.
Yeah, right.
And then if you do what I say and it goes wrong, it's going to be my fault. So I'm better off not giving you advice. So I like to say, you know what? Go back and talk to your lady. But how would you get out of traps when you're actually in one?
So that's the thing that most people come to see me with, because it's like they start a relationship and they've already got emotion involved. And so the way they communicate, I'm going to take you back a few steps before we answer that.
Okay.
So think about it. You know how to communicate based on how your family communicated to you, wherever you grew up, the friends you hung out with. Like, your communication style is unique to you, like as unique as a fingerprint.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Now, you're great at communicating with yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I talk to myself all the time.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're great at communicating to yourself.
Yeah. Need an
You
expert
have
opinion sometimes.
no skills whatsoever to talk to somebody else. Because we don't learn those skills. We only learn what works for us in our own family.
Mm.
So, like, here's an example. My mom, she's got a tone that if you don't know my mom, you're like, what the hell is wrong with your mom? She be, like, yelling all the time. Oh, no, that's just her tone. Like, my mom makes people cry for, like, but just because they don't know her.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I'll say to people, I'm like, nah, that's just my mom's tone.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah, but I learned that because I grew up with it.
Yes.
Right? Now, if I go and talk to other people that way, they might get a little offside. But I don't know any better because that's how I was raised in it. That's how I know how to communicate.
Yes.
So some people are great and some people are flexible and adjust their language and their communication style to the people they're talking to and the environment they're in. Some don't. Now, if you go and meet somebody else, like, a partner that you're romantically or emotionally involved with, that adds a whole nother layer because now you've got an emotional layer of communication. So you communicate the way you know how to best for you. They communicate the way they know how to best for them. But you've never actually learned how to communicate together. And you definitely don't know how to communicate together when there's emotion involved.
Mm.
So that's where kind of like I come in. And it sounds fundamentally ridiculous and basic, but it's like you need to learn communication skills to be able to talk to one another.
Yes.
So if you come from a foundation that I'm going to be open, honest, and genuine with you, anything that is in my head, I'm not going to allow assumptions to creep in. I'm not going to allow mind reading to creep in. Yes. I'm just going to say it because if I leave it in my head, it's going to ruminate. If I leave a thought in my head, it's going to go around bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until it gets so big that it becomes conflict.
Yeah, it's funny because I had that conversation with my lady like early on, and like we follow that as like a specific rule. Like we're just super transparent, and it seems to help. I mean, she kept me around now, over 2 years, and so I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
but that's the thing. Most people don't do that.
Yeah.
So the first step then is just trying to be more transparent.
Yeah.
And then from
because
there,
if you're going to be honest with anyone, it should be the person that you're with.
And from my past relationships, I've learned that. And in my relationship with my lady, which I've been for about 4 years, going on 5, is that, yeah, like you said, I could keep a thought to myself and have a conversation with myself, and everything goes right in my head. But when I go to talk to her, and this, again, is in my past relationships, what I had to learn. When I actually went to communicate after having the conversation in my head and convey it to her, it never went the way that it went in my head, and then that's where the beef happens. It's like, wait, in my head, you're supposed to say this. Oh, in my head, you're supposed to say that. And we're supposed to be hugging afterwards, but you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing because that's not the way it was in my head. And that's not fair.
That's the thing. Because, like, people think there's got to be a right or wrong way. But there's not. The way you communicate is right for you.
Yeah.
The way your partner communicates is right for them, but you haven't learned how to do the relationship communication.
Yeah. And see, one thing that I've noticed, and again, this is nothing personal. That's why I talked about my past relationships, and I don't want to really put my girl out there like that and make it seem like I'm bad.
Put my girl out there. We talked about it.
It just seems that when I've learned things in my relationship. It's about me doing better now. And it's when it comes to communication, it seems like, somebody has to talk and somebody has to talk. But the part of communication is listening as well.
Yeah.
And listening with, like you said earlier, with a loving ear, without taking it as an attack, where I'm saying, look, your feet stink. It's not, I'm saying it to embarrass you, because I'm coming from a place of love. It's, babe, let's do something about your feet. Right? Let's work on this together, because this seems to be a problem. Now, my lady doesn't have a foot problem. Her feet are good. I'm not a Barry White lick toe kind of guy. But just in general, I was just using that as a scenario where, like you were saying, it's how the other person is listening too.
Well, and think about it. The way you listen, you got your own biases.
Yeah.
We all have our own biases. Again, it gets back to where you were raised, what you know, who your friends were, all that kind of stuff. So I've got my own biases going on in my head. So how your conversation went in your own head before you have a conversation with me, it's going through your own biases. Yeah. So then the minute it comes out of your mouth and into my ear, it then filters around all of my biases with my own thoughts around it, right?
Yeah.
So my own biases might taint or shift what you were actually trying to say to me. So I'll say something like, what do you mean my feet stink? I just had them washed. And you're like, no, babe, that's not, and then you start backpedaling like shit.
Yes.
Right? But it's like, well, no, hon, I was just saying, like, I don't know if it's the new shoes you got or the insole, like the lining of your shoe, but like, I can smell something. I don't know if it's your feet or your shoes or whatever it is. Well, what the hell? My feet don't stink. What? Now I gotta go take a shower? And it's like, whoa, no, babe, that's not what I was saying.
Yeah. And then you're working out of the trap now. It's like, I just said something simple. I didn't mean it to be hurtful or malicious. I was just saying it's just something going on here. You
just gotta hug it out. Come here, just give me a hug. You're going crazy. Just hug me.
You start a relationship, right, guys? And you think like, okay, so the foundation of my relationship is nothing that comes out of my mouth is meant to hurt you or our relationship. And if you constantly are thinking about that, then it's kind of like, okay, you said to me, I can smell something. It must be your feet. I'd be like, oh, maybe. I've got new shoes, and I have no clue what the hell the insoles of those shoes are doing. Like, ugh. Yeah. Do you think we can wash them? Or, hey, you notice the smell? This is a great opportunity for you to go get, like, a foot soak for me and wash my feet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One thing leads to the next.
Yeah, I'm not a foot guy. I would send you to the spa and somebody do your feet, because I'm not a foot guy. But
see, and that's me too. I'd be like, don't you dare touch my feet. I'll go and get someone to do this for me.
Yeah, so again,
you got to open your mind to those things, though.
But if you say like, all right, yeah, babe, your feet stink. It's not meant to be a fight. It could lead to something like, let's do something loving and go get mani-pedis together.
I'm going to start at your feet, work my way up your leg.
Oh, boy. I'm not a foot
Everything's
guy.
a gateway to nastiness.
Yeah, it is.
Fun question. How many times, this came from my lady asked this question because...
You're going to put her out there like that?
Yeah, I'm going to put her out there.
You should.
I put
my husband out there in my TED Talk.
How many times a week, 7 days, should a healthy couple be having sex?
Well, this is the cool thing, is that it depends on how often they want to have sex.
Lord, I'm in trouble.
And I think that is a great question. Because, and now there needs to be no excuses. So it can't be like, I would like to have sex 7 days a week, but I work or I got kids or I'm busy or I'm blah, blah, blah. No. There's no excuses. So if in your head you want to have sex 7 days a week, have sex 7 days a week. If you need to do it twice a day, do it twice a day.
But I'm only one man. I'm taking all the vitamins I can.
I'm not a machine.
And
I'm not a machine.
Damn it. If she could, if it was feasible, because we have a simple rule, right? And it seems to work too, but, there's not enough vitamins in my life right now. As long as we're home.
You need a Centrum, boy.
As long as we're home and we're not out in public, if sex is wanted, sex is happening.
That's awesome.
Most nights, if one of us doesn't fall asleep on each other, usually it's me.
You need to have a rule between the two of you, right? And what works for this relationship might not have worked for past relationships or future relationships.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the biggest problems with relationships is people are constantly comparing their relationship to previous or future relationships.
Yep.
So, but what's the healthy number though?
Look at it all the time. How come you aren't? Well, that's a different relationship.
But is there a healthy number though? Like, is like 1 time a month not healthy, but like is 21 times a week like not healthy? Like what's like the median?
Extremes. So I'm going to say yes, there are extremes. If you have no sex, unless you've chosen to have a sexless relationship.
Ugh, why?
Because some people choose to do that, to focus on each other and not make it a sexual thing. But I am going to say, on average, usually twice a week is a pretty decent average.
Twice a week or
Twice a week.
Once in the butt. so
Twice a week or once in the butt?
Yeah. Is that the trade-off? Is that the equivalent?
Does butt sex equal twice?
Twice a week, guys. Twice a week.
Okay. No butt play.
No, butt play is great for people who enjoy it. You gotta make sure your partner enjoys it.
Yeah.
Now, here's the other question.
Otherwise you'll go from twice and once to never.
Yeah.
Ever.
I couldn't even imagine that. So, is oral sex in that number?
No. Well,
Okay.
Oral sex should be included like all the time, as much as you can.
Hear that, babe? All the time.
And you see me trying to sneak in the butt play too.
Twice a week is that's average. We're breaking the bank over here, but that's good, I guess. For now.
The other thing you got to remember too, and it's like as you get older, like obviously when you're like 17, 18 to 25, your hormones are totally different to your hormones after the age of 40.
Yeah, that's what Frank Thomas tells me in the commercials. That my low testosterone. I could be a heavy hitter like he is. I could be the big hurt too if I get my T up. My testosterone.
And the other thing you got to remember is that your hormones are going to be different to your partner's hormones. You're not going to be working with the same hormones, right? So there's, like, for a woman, she's got a cycle she's got to go through every month. And there's different periods within that cycle that she's going to be horny as hell. Capitalize on that, guys. Like, if she's like, hey, jump on that. Be like, okay.
Mark it on my secret calendar.
Don't be like, you know what? I'm not really in the mood. Let's leave it till next week. No, because her hormones are going to fluctuate, and the next week when you want it, she'll be like, nah, not in the mood. Right?
When do they not fluctuate? Is that like normal for hormones to never fluctuate?
Oh, no, that's not normal. So women's hormones are going to fluctuate every month.
Do they?
So it fluctuates throughout the month. So women's hormones are usually only stable for about a 5 to 7 day period.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
And then they go up and down, all the way through like a 30-day, every 30 days, basically.
I think I should be writing this down.
Getting to know, that cycle and understanding like, oh, this is a good day for you. Okay, cool. Let's talk about it, But women's hormones decrease pretty rapidly after the age of 40. So and even now, like, I'm kind of worried about this kind of bullshit because this scares me, is that, girls are starting to get periods at like 9 now instead of, 13, 14.
Oh shit, my daughter's 9.
Oh.
Don't say that.
So there's kids as young as 9 years old getting periods. There's boys as young as 11 having their first wet dream.
Lord.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, there's been a shift. Like, when I was that young, we didn't have periods. I didn't know anyone who got a period at 9 years old. They were all, like, 13, 14 years old.
Damn, they're drinking that Michigan water.
Is that like the hormones in the food or something? Like, what is that about?
That's our Detroit water. No,
I'm sorry, Darryl.
Hey, listen, it's fucked up out there.
Seriously, though, because it's like...
But what's the scientific reason why that's happening? Like...
The scientific reason is really a lot to do with what's in their food.
Yes.
So the way in which people are growing and adjusting and maturing, their bodies are naturally maturing quicker
to the
than
hormones in the food.
So instead of hitting like menopause when you're like 45 to 50, now there's this thing called perimenopause that women can go through from 30 to 35.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So it's like, there's these major changes. So I have like women coming in to see me. Like I have couples come and see me because that's who I see. I see couples. But then what I do is I see them together and then I see them separate and then I see them together. Because sometimes people can say something separate that they don't feel 100% comfortable saying face like in front of their partner.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good to know that your hormones are going to fluctuate. So if we're on the topic of sex and you're like, I don't want to have sex at all, ever, then have your hormones checked out. Go and see a doctor. It's a blood test. It's not invasive. Like they take your blood and they run your hormone levels. And it could just be that your hormones are completely out of whack and you just need a little boost somewhere.
So slipping out like a Spanish fly, that's not really the cool thing to do. You notice how I try to stay away from the Bill Cosby joke. Yeah. But yet I still made it.
You still made it.
Yeah. But no, I was going to make the Bill Cosby joke, but I didn't.
It's those kind of things that make all the difference in the world. It's so, some people are like, my partner doesn't want to have sex with me because I'm not attractive.
Yeah.
No, that's not at all possibly, it could be the reason. I don't know, who your partner is.
I mean, some folks let themselves go in the relationship, man. Dudes get fat and shit, and chicks get fat and lose their, sense of style when you first met them.
Yeah. Like, damn, I like to see the titties out, too, when we're out in public. Like, damn, I got to wait until after you take your shower? No, that's not for my lady. I'm not talking no kind of shade.
He's putting you on blast.
No, I'm not.
But, not really.
No, I'm not. I love her. I'm not going to do that.
What? That's the whole thing. It's like, when we're young, you have maybe a different style. And then when you're older, you get comfortable. Now, what I want to say is don't let yourself go. So I like how you just said that, Daryl. You're like, sometimes people let themselves. You shouldn't let yourself go.
Right. I mean, I'm of the belief that I want to look as sexy as I can for as long as I can. Plus, I want my lady to look as sexy as she can for as long as she can because it keeps me on my game, knowing that there's bots out there trying to get my girl every time she steps out of the house.
You got it, and that's exactly what should be happening.
I'm not trying to look too sexy because it's like I'm trying to get attention. I'm just trying to look like somebody's dad. That's it. Hike up my pants.
But I feel like that's how you keep working, though. Like, I know this girl. Like, dude's talking to my lady every time she leaves the house, and I want to feel like she thinks the same thing when I leave the house because that keeps us working.
You got it.
Yeah.
Man, I should be a sex therapist, yo.
Yeah, well. Hey, what all else goes wrong, just do it in the butt.
Wow.
That's from the ladies' man.
You get slapped if you do that.
That's the ladies' man.
So, what about enhancements, like drugs and toys pills. And pills? Like, is that should folks be bringing that stuff into the relationship if it's not necessarily needed to enhance the sexual situation? Like,
okay, so I'll start with toys because toys are easy. Mm-hmm. So if you and your partner both agree that you would like to introduce some toys. It's that easy.
Okay.
And there's it's not like there's only one type of toy. There's thousands on the market to choose from, right?
Oh, yeah.
So you'd have to test out a few different ones, try and buy, just try out a few different ones. And if you didn't like it, well, you didn't like it. Try something else, right? So toys are, as long as you both agree that you want to try it out for kicks, try it out. No big deal. So that could add a level of fun and entertainment into your relationship. But they should not replace the relationship.
And that's like saying you could take a vitamin C pill, but that shouldn't replace actually eating an orange.
You got it.
Right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So
And
no,
I
because
think that's the big thing. Like, people are like, "Oh, I'll just go and get a really expensive, awesome vibrator, and I'll just use that instead of sex with my partner."
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, he got an attitude tonight. That's cool. I'm not gonna talk to him because I got my toy.
Yeah, exactly. That shouldn't be that way at all.
Yeah.
So should we like lock the toys up in a bag, put them in like a safe deposit box, and go get them for special toy nights?
Where you have to have two keys and turn them at the same time to open the box.
You come home, and all the toys are spread out, and you're like, "What have you been doing while I've been gone?"
Damn, where did this swing come from? What the fuck?
Yeah, I had this installed while you were at work, honey.
Oh damn! Like what the fuck?
I don't know if I'd be mad about that, actually.
Damn.
Babe, buy a swing.
Okay, so toys are easy because that's as long as you both agree and remember that it's not a replacement for your relationship; it's an enhancement to your relationship.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the other thing, lube. Lube should be incorporated into every sexual relationship you got.
All right.
Yeah, lube.
Lube is, I can't explain to you how awesome lube is and how useful it is and how wonderful it is and how everyone should use it. Now, here's where people get it wrong. People are often cheap asses.
You gotta buy the good lube.
You got it.
Don't get the dollar store lube.
Yeah, don't you be buying no dollar store lube. No, you end up in the hospital with something growing on you.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So, like, I mean, what are the best lubes out there? I mean, Astroglide, KY.
The KY hot and cold. I was
The
gonna
hot and
ask you
cold,
about.
I got that. It's dope.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are the kind of funky lubes that you never know if someone's going to have a reaction to.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Because in order for lube to get hot and cold, it's got some chemicals in it.
Yeah.
And so you might have a chemical reaction, and the last place you want a chemical reaction is on your genitals.
Yes.
I'm gonna agree.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's not debatable.
anything that you can buy at your local, grocery store probably is not what you should be putting on your genitals.
Wait, your grocery store sells lube?
Yeah.
Damn, Canada got the shit.
Kroger,
Australia? Damn.
Detroit. Come on.
I've never seen lube at the grocery store.
I think I might
That's
have.
Kroger.
I'm gonna have to go check that out.
Dip the aisles where they've got like pads and condoms and
Extra
I don't know,
virgin
that kind
oil?
of stuff. There'll be like KY jelly and stuff down there, or
I-
like
I just go to
hot
like the
and
pharmacy.
cold.
That's what's up.
Okay.
So what about like
So you
Viagra's
want
and shit?
quality lube, and then this is the other thing. Now, and this is like people don't know this shit. This is why I enjoy being a sexologist. Is a lot of people will buy something that says water-based lube. Now, if it's water-based,
It's not lube.
it's not really lube. It's water-based, right?
All you gotta do
Which
is-
means you gotta apply it over and over and over again. So a lot of people think, oh, well, I put lube on, I'm good. No. If it's water-based, you're gonna have to apply it over and over again because it'll actually soak into your skin.
Plus,
Which is
water is not a
fine.
lubricant. Sex in a pool is not comfortable at all.
You got it. So it's not really a
Chlorine
true
and everything,
lubricant. Okay? So, but if you're using toys, you need to use a water-based lubricant. If you got cheap toys, you use a water-based lubricant on cheap toys because it washes off nice and it'll do the job. If you got really expensive toys, you can use a water-based or a silicone-based lubricant.
Okay.
But you have to wash it off because silicone-based lubricant on a silicone toy will actually deteriorate the silicone of the toy. So if you've paid like $200 for a toy and then you're putting, $50 lube on your toy and you're not cleaning it properly, your toy is not going to last 3 months. Whereas a good quality toy, expensive good quality toy, could last 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow, that's what's up.
Yeah. But you gotta take care of them like anything, right? Like when you're done with it, wash it,
Yes.
dry it, put it away.
You can't just have a sex drawer full of like oily toys.
Yeah.
Well, you can as long long
take
as
the
they're
beads out
washed
of ass
and
and
put
just
away.
leave it on the nightstand. Yeah, nah, that's
When your
gross.
kids go, so what's this?
Yeah, yeah, on the nightstand. Oh, jeez. Ugh.
Okay, so the best lube to use is anything that says silicone based.
Okay.
Because it's the kind of lube that let's just say a little bit goes a long way. Like you be taking showers 2 days later and still feel slippery.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah. So.
Babe, write this down. Silicone-based lube.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Going to Amazings after this.
We're gonna hit the. So what about talk to us about like the pros and cons of additional drug help?
Okay, so the drug use for like using, some people think, oh well, if I just pop this, then it'll make it last longer or whatever. Unless you actually require it, like if you're like 80 and can't get a hard on and then require medicine to like lift it up, absolutely go and get a prescription and get the medicine to lift it up. But if you don't require it, what happens is, and I wish more people knew this, is that your body will then become accustomed to the medication.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do actually just want to have sex, you tend to not be able to.
Yep.
Because your body's like, oh, but where's the drugs to help me out?
Yep. Feel like Popeye without his spinach.
Exactly.
Yep.
So he's like, oh shit, I need my spinach in order to be strong. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing.
Yep.
So you might have been totally normal and capable, and then went, oh, I'll just start taking, recreational drugs to make it to enhance it and make it a little bit better, not realizing that by doing that, you're actually screwing with your system, and you're going to have to require it when you don't really need it.
This is for the young folks out there that's out there trying to add NOS to their already well-oiled machine.
Well, see, I used to work in the healthcare industry, and every time there was a long weekend coming up, like a 4-day weekend, we would get the weekend warriors. Either the wife calling or the husband calling. How come my insurance isn't going to cover this pill? Oh, my husband needs this pill, and he needs it before we leave because our flight is in 2 hours. I need it now. Okay. We always got those weekend warrior calls. It never failed.
Be prepared.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's the whole thing. It's like, if your body needs it, awesome, then your body needs it. But if your body doesn't need it, don't be adding it to it because you're going to screw up your system.
Yeah, one thing that actually works for me is stretching. Like, just stretching so that way I could get the blood flowing throughout my body. So, like, just making sure, even if I'm just watching TV, I'll do, like, little stretches, but make sure that my back is loose, making sure that the blood is flowing through my body, so that way, when it's go time, I already got the blood flowing, And then I'm not going to pull up lane with a hammy. Charlie horse.
And that's a big thing to remember. The whole idea, like, how to get an erection, it requires blood flow.
Yep.
So if you're doing things that's stopping your blood from flowing, like if you're not healthy and you're not working out and you're not, leading a healthier lifestyle, your arteries naturally are not letting blood flow the way it should.
Yep.
So therefore, your penis is not going to get erect the way it should.
Hitting it with the floppy flop.
Exactly. Now, that's another thing that people should recognize. So if you've always been able to get hard, like, think about it, get hard. Think about it, get hard. Want it, get hard. Whatever. If you've always been able to do that and you're relatively healthy and you know that that's how your body reacts, and then you go to do it again and you can't get hard, that's when you need to start seeing a doctor. Because that could indicate that you got a blockage in an artery.
Oh, wow.
So that's a really good indicator, like, hey, start taking care of your health because you might be prone to a heart attack right now. And so that's why I say avoid the drugs, because if you're forcing your body to have this, you might have just overstepped the mark, not realizing that maybe you're about to have a heart attack.
Yeah.
So you could have some other shit going on, but you're masking it
Exactly.
With the Cialises and the little blue pills.
Well,
and
the other thing too is testosterone levels, because even with the low T, they talk about that for men. Now that I'm going to be 40 this year, actually February 8th.
Welcome to the club.
Oh yes. So they say like around this time is when you start to get low testosterone. So it may not be, something with the heart. It could just be your hormones now changing.
Yep. And that's the whole thing. That's why I'm saying it's not just for women to go get their blood tested and have hormone levels tested. Mm-hmm. Men need to do it too. Because what happens is, and like I almost feel as though, and obviously speaking from a woman's perspective, but I feel that men seem to be a little more proud about things. Mm. So it's like, I've always been able to get an erection. Shit, I hit 40 or 41, and now it's not quite going the way I want it to. So instead of asking for sex or wanting sex or engaging in sex, you kind of just start to isolate. You avoid it because you don't want to tell your partner that, like, it's not getting as hard as I want it to, because you're a little too proud to say that. But you're also too proud to go to a doctor and say, "Hey, doc, I don't got a cold or a snuffy nose. It's my penis. It's just not quite working the way I want it to." Guys don't say those things, but they should. Because it could be as simple as, well, let's do a blood test. Let's make sure your hormones are where they're meant to be. And if it's not, it's as simple as like rubbing a cream on. So you can opt for an injection. You can opt for rubbing a cream. You can, there's so many different ways for guys to be able to increase their testosterone levels.
Yeah.
So definitely look into that, because I don't think people recognize how much their hormones fluctuate, and then their hormones affect their sexual performance. But instead of just saying it's my hormones and it's that, they make it a psychology thing. They like play with it in their head and go, it must be because I'm no longer good, or maybe I'm not attractive anymore, or maybe she doesn't want me, or they say all this other bullshit that has nothing to do with it.
They might get into some like real weird shit. Whoa!
I can't get hard anymore unless I do 3 lines of coke and there's a donkey in the room.
Yeah. Like, where did this horse saddle come from? Like, what? Like, do I have to do this? Do I have to wear the muzzle? Because I took a human sexuality class for my science class back in college, and we was talking about some weird fetishes. I'm like, what happens in your life for you to even associate this weird shit with sex? Like, what?
But it's weird for you, but it's not weird for them, because
exactly. Like,
so when it comes to like fetishes and kinky stuff, it's like, as long as there's 2 consenting partners who both enjoy it, go for it.
I just wonder, like, how you get to that point. Like, I like to be hung from the ceiling with hooks. Like, where?
Oh, Jesus Christ! Like,
Like, I mean, I know a guy who likes to be hung from the ceiling with hooks. Yeah. Like, I'm like, where do you get to that point where you even want to try that?
What was the first time?
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing, is that wouldn't have just gone from like, let's have regular sex to hang me from a ceiling. It's, let's have regular sex and maybe like pinch my nipples. And then it goes, ooh, I like that. So let's have regular sex, pinch my nipples, and
punch me in the throat.
So it builds, and it builds, and it builds, and it builds to the point of that. And sometimes you gotta watch out. Sometimes that building is actually harmful.
Yeah.
What about like couples who swing?
Swingers.
Like, is that like a healthy?
Like, swing, or people who swing with other people?
People who swing with other people, like the swinger community.
Yeah,
I DJ'd a couple of swinger parties.
Awesome community.
Huh?
It's an awesome community, but again.
But is it like a healthy situation for you to like get to a certain point in your relationship and be like, babe, we got to start fucking the couple down the street because.
Yeah. How do you introduce? Like, how do you into the relationship?
What happens,
I'm not trying to do that.
People who are into swinging tend to meet other people who are into swinging, so they already know the lifestyle. So it's not like, all surprise, I want to swing, and you're like, what? So usually people who swing know people who swing, right?
Yeah, right.
And the other thing is, it's a foundation of a relationship too. So it's being able to have those foundation conversations of what are the rules or the boundaries that we're going to put in place when we swing. So here's a prime example, right? I had a couple who came to see me, and they were kind of in distress. They were really there for therapy as opposed to education. And they were a swinging couple. She could have another partner Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. He could have another partner Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and Sunday was like family day.
How's that swinging, though? That's just like two people cheating on each other.
Well, no, they were with the other partner in the couple. So usually what's happening is that they don't swing together. Like, you don't have sex together in the room, all four of you. That's not usually what swinging is.
That's an orgy.
Yeah.
That's an orgy. You got it. So usually they have different days that they're allowed to go and swing with somebody else. So that's what they do. But their original rule was, as you can swing with anyone you want as long as I know who they are. Like, as long as you said, hey, I want to be with Daryl, and this is who Daryl is. Okay, Daryl's on your okay list, go for it. So as long as the other partner knows, they were happy. Now, what happened, let's say Daryl was the person that she was allowed to swing with. Daryl was from like 3 years ago. So now she's on to someone new, but then Daryl came back into the picture. So she thought, because Daryl had already been okayed, that she could bring him back in. The husband was totally distraught because he was like, no, that's not how it works, because now I feel like you're cheating on me. Like, why would you bring someone from our past back in without asking me? So the husband then felt like she was cheating. See how that becomes a problem?
Yeah, no. I mean, I used to DJ at swinger parties, and like they always used to talk about the level of like trust and like everything's consensual and.
Yeah. I used to ball back at a swing. Well, they had a swingers night every Saturday, and they were always professionals. They were always like policemen and lawyers and doctors, and they were like upstanding citizens. They weren't like dirtbag people just coming out saying, hey, we're gonna go swing. It wasn't that kind of party. It was like, hey, how you doing today? Oh, you want to go play golf? Oh yeah. Well, my wife was looking at you and she wanted to say hello, and yeah, well, look, my wife is right here, and then they just go about their business.
Yeah, but there's really, and I think that's the thing, is that you might see it in movies or whatever, but I think in society, people who aren't in the swinging community don't really realize how structured it really is.
Right.
So there's lots of boundaries, there's lots of discussion, super trust, because you got to be able to trust your partner, all those kind of things. And if you don't have that, that's when it becomes a problem. So again, it's like, if you and your partner enjoy doing these things and you're two consenting adults who want to do this, go for it. Try it out. You might just say, hey, babe, I've never ever tried this, and I thought, like, hey, maybe we should try it one day. And your partner goes, sure. Okay, great. So our rules are going to be, we're only going to try it once, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
Right.
And there you go. But if you got to have the conversation, and that's where it comes back to communicating in a relationship.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Now, I had a question about, in a relationship, about cockles. Where's your stance on that? Like, what was your thoughts on that?
In what sense?
Well, in the sense of, like, how healthy is that? Is that something that is... It's just one of those weird things that I've come across. And it's like, I don't personally see it, where it's basically the guy is there, sitting there, watching his wife be with somebody else, and...
Oh, like voyeurism.
No, but it's more than that. It's like, now she's humiliating him, basically. So she's basically cheating on him right in front of him, and he can't do anything but just sit there.
It's like extreme voyeurism.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, it's one of those things that's a form of a kinky lifestyle that some people really, really enjoy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Not for you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, because I've saw that too at the swingers night, and where the husband, he had to basically just sit there while the wife is all touching and feeling up on the guy and giggling, basically cheating on him right in front of him, and he had to just sit there and basically have his hand folded.
That sounds like some other submissive dominatrix type shit.
Yeah, it was weird.
Shit,
It's one of those
part
weird
of the
things.
BDSM world.
Yeah. And again, even with my human sexuality classes, that
if it's not part of what you do, like if it's not part of where your mind wraps around, then it probably isn't right for your relationship.
So the moral is, talk about shit before you just try to do some shit. You can't just show up and be like, babe, this is Jose. He's about to blow your back out. I'm going to watch.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Because she might not be on that kind of time.
Yeah.
And,
or you come in with the horse saddle, but hey, babe, we're saddling up tonight. What the fuck are you talking about? We saddling up tonight?
Tonight, you're a pony.
Yeah.
Ride you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We play the Genuine song. Oh, and it's on. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Pony's a great song.
Oh, yeah. Ride the pony.
Hey, well, we got a real good education today. For real. We definitely appreciate you coming on the show. Before we let you go, though.
Yes.
How many things have tried to kill you in your house in Australia? Because Australia has some gigantic ass shit.
Oh, like spiders?
Like spiders. And, do you guys have, how fortified is your house?
Do you have to have a shotgun for kangaroos?
No, so kangaroos aren't really going to hurt you.
Okay.
So kangaroos are cool. They're on,
I've seen them knock some people out, though.
Are they like big dogs?
I've seen kangaroo knock people out.
What do you mean big dogs?
Like, can you domesticate a kangaroo?
Well,
Kangaroo
yes and
Jack.
no. So usually what happens is if, a mom kangaroo gets hit by a car and she's got a baby, like a joey in her pouch, usually what'll happen is people will rescue the joey and bring them to a rescue farm. And then the joeys are hand-reared, like they're bottle-fed and nurtured within a house. And then you let them go back in the wild. But what tends to happen is those joeys will always come back to the house, and they'll let you approach them and pet them and hand-feed them, which is pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
So they can be, domesticated in that sense. But, the serious wild ones, you wouldn't go near them. They could kill you.
Yeah.
They just lean back on their tail and then kick you, and then you'd be dead.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I've seen some kangaroos do some wild shit.
It's not really about the bigger animals, though. For me, I look at the spiders and the insects and
the big ass spiders.
The shit. They're this could come out of your toilet and kill you.
Well, yeah. So there's in different parts of Australia. The part I'm in, we don't really have huge snakes. That's on the other side. So I'm on the west coast, and on the east coast, there's definitely some places that they have giant snakes that'll show up in your toilets because they just want it to be in your pipes.
So stay away from the east side if you want to stay away from the snakes.
The northeast side has got scary stuff, guys. Scary stuff.
That's
but
right.
It's beautiful. It's stunningly beautiful.
East side?
But there's some house spiders that could kill you.
Mm.
So local little house spiders that live in your house that could harm you enough that you go to a hospital. So you just gotta, before you sit down to have a barbecue, here, where are you guys at now?
We're on the East Coast, from Rhode Island.
East side.
East.
So if we were Australia, we'd have all the shit trying to kill us.
Yeah,
Exactly.
basically.
So
all the snakes and jigs.
During the summer when you have your friends over and you go, let's just have a barbecue.
Yeah.
And you just pull up, a chair and sit on it and whatever. Well, in Australia, what you do is you'd flip all the chairs and make sure there's no redback spiders, and then you'd spray for the spiders and clean out any cobwebs there are, and then sit down on the chair.
So there's a process.
Now you got to do some maintenance.
You wouldn't just sit on a chair without looking to see if there's a redback spider.
Oh, okay. So it's not likely that somebody's just going to be spontaneous and just randomly have sex outside. You have to say, okay, there's some cobwebs. We got to wipe down the cobwebs. Got to make sure there's nothing on this tree. And, okay, only put your hand on this part of the tree because you don't want to wake no other animal. So it just sounds like there's no spontaneous sex outside in the jungle in Australia.
There can still be spontaneous sex outside. You just got to, quickly look at your surroundings first.
Yeah. Not trying to blow their back out in the outback like that.
Other than that, I've had nothing bite me or kill me or whatever, but I've seen a few snakes and I've been scared enough that I've just stopped in my tracks and been like, Okay, that's good enough.
I could go this way.
I mean, it looks beautiful. Australia looks beautiful, but then I see the stuff
amazing.
that could kill you in Australia, and I'm like, I'm never going there.
Yeah, but we got grizzly bears up in Canada, and you got like, I don't know.
You can see grizzly bears coming. You can hear that stuff. They move. They rustle shit. You know, spiders are stealthy.
I went camping with my kids, and we had a kangaroo trip over our wires. You know how you like put up a tent and then you pull the wires out, like the
to hold it,
like put them into the ground,
yeah,
to like keep the tent up. We had a kangaroo in the middle of the night trip over one of those wires and like fall into our tent.
Rude ass kangaroo.
Yeah, exactly.
No kind of manners.
Scared the shit out of me.
That's hilarious.
Motherfucking kangaroo Jack, get out of here.
But I've been there now, like, 17 years or something?
Oh, right.
And I love it.
Wait.
I get to watch the sunset over the ocean every night.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty beautiful.
Does the toilet bowl go in the opposite direction?
It does.
Really?
See?
It does. It flushes the other way.
Yep.
Wow. I'd always thought that was a myth.
That's why I want.
I'm going to be a myth buster right now.
See, that's why I wanted to clear it up.
For those,
The moon looks different.
the moon? What do you mean?
Yeah. Okay, so you know at night, if we had a full moon, right, and you look up at the moon, what does it look like to you?
The thing from the Mac Tonight commercials.
Like
a
a hubcap.
On it, right? Like you can see like two eyes and an open mouth, right?
Not really.
What?
Well, Australia got some real good weed, huh?
No, that's in Detroit. Just letting you know. In Detroit, when you look at a full moon,
It smiles back at you.
it looks like it's got like two eyes and an open mouth, like a circle mouth.
Like, oh.
Like
okay. Yeah, sometimes I can see that when I'm really,
okay.
really hot.
In Australia, it doesn't look like that at all because we see the moon from a different angle.
Oh, all right. So there's actually a full a full moon eclipse coming up on January 20th. So you guys should actually get a good sight of that.
Ooh, that'll be cool.
It's like some kind of super blood moon. Because the only reason I know, I like to do my music podcast around like full moons. So this one, I'm trying to shoot it for that date, January 20th.
Excellent. Amanda, thanks for coming on the show today. We appreciate you giving us some therapy and some education.
Oh yes, don't use the cheap lube.
Don't use the cheap lube. Might get electrocuted.
Hashtag no cheap lube.
Silicone lube is the best. When all else fails, try to put it in the butt. I know you didn't say that. I'm still trying to push that. No, but thanks for everything, though.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming on. We'll have to have you on again. Oh, yeah. Check out the TED Talk. Plug the TED Talk before you leave.
Oh, yeah. Check out my TED Talk. Go to, I don't know, youtube.com or whatever and type in Amanda Lambros or type in date night is cheaper than a divorce.
You know what? We'll post it on our
and we'll post
Facebook
it up
page.
on the Facebook page, too.
Awesome. Yeah, date night's cheaper than a divorce. Remember that and, you'll save yourself heaps of money.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks.
See you guys.
All right.
Have a great day.
Amanda Lambros, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming through the podcast.
It's some real interesting things.
It was interesting. We learned some shit.
Yeah.
Hopefully we educated y'all on some shit, too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Most importantly, no cheap lube.
No cheap lube.
Hashtag no cheap lube.
Yeah. Actual Glide.
Hashtag
Label.
use expensive sex toys.
Yeah. What a basis cheap shit. Don't do it.
Don't do the cheap lube.
No.
Which is like the whole moral, I think, of the podcast is
a dab will do you.
A dab will do you.
Oh man, I even did that. Oh man, that's the first time I've ever did that in my life.
So I would feel like I didn't do my duty if we didn't end the show talking about this motherfucker, Bron.
What did he do now?
Bron was in the news.
LeBron.
First of all, I just want to be like, condolences to your Pittsburgh Steelers. They're out fishing with my Detroit Lions right now.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Steelers, New York Giants.
Antonio Brown acting like a diva.
Yeah.
It's a bad look. He's going to end up on the Lions because nobody else is going to want him.
Well,
so thanks.
Well, you saw him on Fox
He wants
with
to go
that
to San
Masked
Fran,
Singer.
right?
He was on that Fox show, The Masked Singer.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was one of the people that got revealed. He was the first one that got revealed.
Yeah,
and they kept saying, "Oh, is it Odell Beckham?" I felt like, they was totally name dropping. They was just dropping. Oh, Allen Iverson. Like, what the fuck, Allen Iverson doing this shit for? They was just name dropping anybody. I was like, oh, are they gonna say Kobe Bryant? Are they gonna say Michael Jordan?
Could he actually sing? I didn't even watch it.
I didn't see his performance. Lady recorded it on the DVR, and I think I'm gonna watch it with my son because he wanted to watch it, but he caught like the tail end. He was at my mother's house, but yeah, he was on that show.
Oh shit!
They was like, it was Odell Beckham when he took off his hat. It was Antonio Brown. Oh, well, Antonio Brown. I'm like damn.
Doing TV shows when he should be fucking focusing on football.
Yeah, well, we didn't make the playoffs. So
anyway.
Fuck the Patriots. One
of my favorite people to just like, I don't know. I don't want to say that I openly hate on LeBron because I respect his game.
Yes, you do.
I respect his game, just like I respected Jordan's game. But I also wasn't a fan of Jordan.
I'm still more of a Scottie Pippen guy. But
it is neither here nor there.
Mm-hmm.
This dude had the audacity to say that after he beat the Warriors in 2016 finals, at that point, he was the greatest of all time. First of all, shut the fuck up. Like, you don't get to say that you're the greatest of all time. Other people get to tell you you're the greatest of all time, and if enough people have said that shit, then you could actually believe it. Like, where the fuck did all the humbleness go? I mean, listen, I'm a fan of a cocky athlete, so I can't really hate him for saying it, but I don't understand why he would say it when there's still debate. Like, in one title doesn't make you the greatest of all time because you beat the Warriors. Like,
yeah, that's
you know what I mean.
But
like
if he
Brady, like, there's not too much debate left with Brady.
Mm-hmm.
The only debate would be, in my eyes, is if somehow Drew Brees rattles off 2 more Super Bowls before he retires. Because Drew Brees also has the numbers. And they're the same age. And probably on the same juice. So, like, if the Saints win a title this year and next year, or whatever, if Drew Brees wins 2 more, he'll have 4.
Mm-hmm.
With the numbers, I could see the argument.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and then it just becomes who throws a better deep ball and who throws a better out pass, and then you could break it down to those categories and
right, because at this point, like, rings are like, you can say Tom Brady went to 8 Super Bowls, Drew Brees only went to like 5 or whatever it is, but at least
it's a team sport though.
But it's a team sport.
Yeah.
So I just did, like, his people, whoever his team is. I mean, it has him in the news cycle, so I get it, but. Come on, dude. Like, you're not supposed to say you the greatest.
Yeah.
And then not be able to back it up. Like, to say you the greatest, like, if he had 6 rings, if that was his 6th ring, all right, I could dig you saying it because at least you got as many rings and as many accolades as the dude that they're saying is the greatest. You know what I mean? Like, if Jordan is the greatest, right? So Jordan is the bar. So until you get to the bar, you can't call yourself the greatest.
See, now this is the thing, though. LeBron's greatness is.
I'm not saying that he's not great.
Well, see, and I hear your argument. The fact that he even called himself the greatest at that point, that's wrong, right? Because
like, dude, that was what, your 3rd ring?
Yeah, but that's like Homeboy saying he was the king of R&B and he hasn't had
Jacquees,
and he hasn't had one platinum album. And he hasn't had one platinum album, but yet you're the king of R&B nowadays. But you see how anybody can make any kind of wild claim nowadays.
Yo, I'm the king of podcasting, yo.
Easy.
15 episodes in. This episode right here makes me the king of podcasting.
Tell 'em.
Anybody got a problem with that? Come. That's it.
Okay.
We the kings. We the double kings.
Kicking niggas in their throat.
We are the kings of podcasting. 15 episodes in.
Got something to say, bring it.
There's motherfuckers out there that got 4, 5 years, 10 years. Fuck them. They got nothing.
All that smoke.
You know what I'm saying? This episode, we got international motherfucking interview. We the kings of this shit.
Bitch.
How fucking ludicrous does that sound?
Lighten up my lighter because I want all the smoke.
So, LeBron, fuck you. Until you get to the bar, you can't call yourself the greatest.
Well, see, look, now this is the
Nah,
thing.
you got to get to the bar.
I know that's cool, and I hear you.
You know what I mean? Because everybody's like, Jordan's the best, right? Jordan been the best. Jordan been the greatest ball player for a while. Now here comes LeBron or Kobe. Even Kobe with all the shit. Kobe got 5 rings.
That's true.
Kobe got 5 rings. He never at one point at all said he was the greatest of all time.
Well, he acted like it, but yeah. Even though he did try to talk like Jordan when he first
act like
talk,
it. Carry that swagger with you. You're never supposed to say it.
Well, all right. So wait, let me say this though with LeBron. Now this is his 3rd team. If he wins an MVP, right, with the team, maybe not this year, maybe next year, right? That means he's won MVP with 3 different teams.
So what?
If he takes them
MVP is a singular award.
Wait. But how many other people have won 3 MVPs with 3 different teams? How many people have ever taken 3 different teams to finals?
Most people don't jump around to teams like that. Shaq was the last person I remember doing it.
Even though he was in Cleveland and then went to Miami and went back to Cleveland, but how many people outside of like the old Celtics have been to 8 or 9 finals in a row? Like, see, so, like, when you look at his stat and what you're looking... But then people will say, well, look at what Jordan did. Well, yeah, what Jordan did is great. LeBron's greatness is measured differently. Like, again, if he could bring this team to the finals, that means that he brought 3 different teams to the finals.
3 different terrible teams. And at that point, I would be more okay with him saying that shit.
3 terrible teams, but... he being the person to drag him along.
I'm not about that. Like the MVPs, whatever. That's a singular award. They gave that shit to Russell Westbrook, and his team fucking sucks.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. If he wins a title with the Lakers in the next 2 years, as shitty as the Lakers are, like
they're actually pretty decent.
Then I'll give him 2 thumbs up on being able to say that like with more confidence. But 2 years ago, no. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And that's why I'm with you with that. From based off what you did 2 years ago.
2 years ago, and the title that you won, you only won that title because Kyrie fucking cooked the shit out of Steph Curry in that finals.
Yes, he did.
And there was no Andre Iguodala.
That too.
And no Draymond for 1 game. But still, you didn't even win the game.
No, but he had the game-winning pass. Come on, he made the right basketball play.
He made the right basketball play, but we all know LeBron is not very clutch, and he's not hitting that 3.
Nah.
Not 3 years ago. Now his jumper is much better.
Oh yeah,
but 3 years ago he wasn't hitting that 3. That's why he had to pass the rock.
Yeah, but even in the case with Jordan, he kicked it out to Paxson.
Yeah.
So there's times when there's times for you to take the shot.
Oh, yeah, no.
And it's time for you to pass it. But you see with LeBron, I'll give you that. LeBron doesn't have that Mamba mentality like Kobe and what Jordan had. Where, all right, you know what? We're down by 1. It's 3 seconds left. Give me the ball.
Right.
I'm ISO, run a pick and roll. I'm shooting this. This is me. We're winning and losing on me. Now, with LeBron, it's different. Like, even when he was younger in the league, it was, all right, we're down by 1, 3 seconds left, give me the ball, I'm going to make the right play, be ready for the pass. Right? So he would come into the lane, be wide open, and then kick it out to somebody else to take the shot. Or he would try to take the shot, and then it goes real off. It'll be a hard brick.
Right? And to me, greatness is like partly your ability.
Yeah.
But being able to be in that greatest of all time means that, like, you're a killer out there. You know what I mean? Like, you're taking that shot at the end, no matter if it's a win or a loss. You drive into the basket. Now, in the case of Jordan, he got double teamed a lot. You know what I mean? But he kicked it out to a wide open dude who he knew he was going to make that shot. Just like LeBron passed it to Kyrie. He knew Kyrie was going to be able to make that shot.
Yeah.
Like, basketball IQ, incredible. Probably the best I've ever seen.
But you see, the thing though is now with this era of basketball, there's going to be a short time when two teammates are together before they start beefing with each other, because nobody wants to be that Scottie Pippen. Everybody wants to be the Jordan. Everybody wants to be the king of the
keep
team.
winning titles.
Because
those dudes just play their position.
They play their
Steph,
position.
you get 30 shots. KD, you get 30 shots.
Yep.
Clay, you get however many shots is left. Draymond rebound the ball, bring it up, take a couple shots.
Yep.
Like everybody gets a couple of shots.
Play your position.
You know what I mean? Steph runs the floor.
But you see, with Kyrie and LeBron, the problem is that Kyrie was feeling like LeBron is... They always kept saying, LeBron needs help, LeBron needs help, LeBron needs help. Kyrie's sitting right there like, yo, what the fuck am I doing here then?
Right.
So it got to a point where it's like, fuck you, let me go off on my own. Kobe and Shaq. It was the same kind of thing. Marbury and Kevin Garnett. Like, nobody wants to be or even have that Stockton Malone kind of relationship.
Here's the difference, I think, personally. Steve Kerr is the difference.
Yeah.
Because Steve Kerr played
with
Jordan.
Yeah.
And took all that Phil Jackson knowledge and was like, this is how you get all these egos to work together.
You know who else actually is a big architect in it all too is Draymond Green, because because he's the one that was also saying about how we could negotiate our contracts, and he was the one that was actually looking at the books and saying this is how we can make it work money wise. So he's a huge...
Draymond's the glue, man. To me, he's the MVP.
Big time. As much as he's like a human... He looks like a motherfucking human fart to me. And he just comes across like that to me.
And he went to Michigan State. And fuck Michigan State. But whatever.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean? But like, I fucks with Draymond because he's like the general out there, man.
Yeah,
like he's like the floor coach almost. Like he keeps all these dudes in check. And he'll check everybody on the floor. Like he's that goon. Like, hey, man... Shoot that fucking shot. Like I like when he go to KD and he's like, motherfucker, shoot more shots, dog.
Yeah, he's like that Charles Oakley type. He's like that guy on the team.
You need that guy on your team. Yeah. And I think that if he didn't get ejected for that one game,
LeBron wouldn't have been...
I don't think LeBron even gets close to that title. But that's a what if.
But see, that's the problem that happens with LeBron too, is no matter what team he is on, even when they had the three of them in Miami, right? It was always, oh, well, LeBron needs help. So this is the ultimate help he could get with Dwayne Wade and then with Chris Bosh, a.k.a. Iguana Man, because he looked like an iguana, and then Joanna Man, because it looked like he should be in the WNBA, but that's another story for another time. I just hope my Knicks don't really pick him up because he's trying to make a comeback.
My favorite part of that whole Miami Heat team is that Juwan Howard finally got his ring.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He's the only one in the Fab Five with a ring. I mean, he got it after being like 65 years old.
Yeah, and I think I told you about this. I didn't know that he was actually in the record books for having the most teammates in his NBA career until Vince Carter just got it.
Yeah.
So that was a weird stat. I don't know where the fuck that came from.
The other thing that was in the news with LeBron, just to kind of skip ahead, I don't want to be... And this is not me like really all right, maybe a little bit.
Yes, it is.
So, People Magazine called LeBron the best athlete of 2018 or the greatest athlete of 2018
over Serena Williams.
That's what I'm saying. Like, fuck you, People Magazine.
Yeah.
Like, how you going to be? All right, I get it. The dude opened a school. He's helping kids, but the title is best athlete of 2018.
And he didn't win the championship
across sport. And he didn't win the title. Like, what the fuck? Like, how much are we gonna suck this dude's dick right now? Like, Serena Williams. Like, Tiger Woods come back. Tom Brady.
Well, look.
Like, Nick Foles won a Super Bowl.
True.
As a backup.
True.
Lewis Hamilton, race car driver.
Oh, yeah.
Dominates F1. That dude hasn't lost in like 2 years.
Hell yeah.
He's not the greatest athlete of 2018. Like,
No, LeBron is.
Are we just talking about American athletes? Because then we can not talk about Lewis Hamilton for a second and just talk about all the other American athletes.
American male athletes?
American,
that are black?
Not even female athletes. Because he's not different. Right.
I don't know. Like, I'm trying to help them.
I'm just saying, the Red Sox won the title. None of those guys.
No motherfucking Mookie Betts.
No Mookie Betts. He was the MVP of the league.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. No fucking Mookie. No, but if anything, just...
Like, I try not to hate on this dude.
Okay, but...
And then shit like this happens and I have to bring it up.
Well, so if anything, that he was the athlete for 2018, and if anything, for 2019, I would say that my nominee for athlete of the year so far has to be Floyd Mayweather. You saw that fight that he had?
Wait, knocked out the kickboxer?
No, the Asian guy.
He was a kickboxer, yeah.
He was a kickboxer, really?
Yeah. He punched the shit out of that dude.
Did he?
I ain't seen Floyd Mayweather knock a dude out in like probably since he first started fighting.
No, seriously though.
He hit that dude so hard.
No, that joke was a real deal fight. No, that fight was a real deal joke. I mean,
Floyd, just hang him up, man.
Yo,
just hang him up. You got enough money.
Yo, that fight was a joke.
Like, nobody wants to see Floyd fight. And he's fighting overseas. He's like, what's his name? That just fought everywhere. Sugar Ray Robinson?
Oh, man, yeah. But
he fought everywhere. He was doing fight exhibitions and shit.
But this is the thing, though.
Like, it just taints your legacy.
Yeah. If anything, people would say that I'm hating on Floyd. But nah, he made us cool $9 million. That's cool.
It just taints his legacy. He's fighting bums.
Well, and then they say that Mike Tyson did some exhibition fights. Ali's done exhibition fights.
Yeah,
but we could go back and probably Joe Frazier was doing.
I'm sure they've all done. That's why I said Sugar Ray Robinson did a ton of them.
But see, the thing is usually when they do it, they're doing it for tax reasons because the tax man is coming after them, and they have to do these bullshit ass fights to pay for the taxes to keep the tax man off their back.
Oh, maybe that's what he's doing it for. Who knows? But I mean,
that's the way I looked at it.
He's promoting fights and all that. He got plenty of money coming in. He don't need to be. Man. And he's not fighting other boxers. He's fighting sumo wrestlers and kickboxers and MMA dudes. These guys are not boxers.
What it feels like is the Harlem Globetrotters faces Scooby-Doo in the gang.
Yeah.
The Harlem Globetrotter versus Scooby-Doo and Batman. It's just some wacky crossover shit like that.
Space Jam.
Yeah,
But fuck People Magazine.
Okay.
Because they don't obviously know what the fuck is happening in sports. Not that LeBron's not great. Let me be clear about LeBron being great. Okay. I'm not hating on his greatness. I'm just hating on him. Just him as a person. Maybe I'm hating on his marketing team. It just lets him make these terrible decisions and say shit out loud. I still haven't watched The Shop because the one episode I saw,
want all that smoke.
Where I'm like, which LeBron are we getting? Because the LeBron on his HBO show is hoodie LeBron,
nigga this, nigga that.
Yeah, and then so I don't understand how. I don't know, but as the man, as the good homie Tony L would say, they don't have anybody to replace LeBron right now, so they kind of just letting him get away with whatever the fuck he want to do.
Yeah.
Because they need to have a star.
Steph Curry's a little bit too light skinned, and Durant is a little bit too nappy headed.
And Anthony Davis got one eyebrow.
Yeah, well, that too.
The Zion Williamson kid could be it. He could be the one.
Nah, he's the next grandmama. He's the next Larry Johnson.
What I'm saying though is if he transcends the league enough, then LeBron will come up on an indictment of some kind, just like they did with Kobe. Just like they did with Jordan.
Nah,
gambling.
Come on, you can't be putting that on my man LeBron. LeBron don't be living dirty like that. He's not riding dirty like that. Come on, he's a little bit too smart.
I don't know if you listen to him talk on his HBO special. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if Brown was selling drugs out the barbershop he'd be sitting in.
He went to Miami,
right,
to build a connect. To bring it back to Cleveland, and then from Cleveland he went to Los Angeles. Oh, now he's dealing with the big yayo bucks.
He on three coasts. He on both coasts, and he in the Midwest. He got
getting them square groupers from the Bay.
It's the underground LeBron Railroad of drugs. He moving the cocaine cross country.
Oh yes,
on his private jet because they ain't fucking with him when he gets on and off that motherfucker.
Motherfucker Waller, it's the LeBron tunnel. No, I mean, it's just as important as the Lincoln Tunnel.
Right, he got these young boys folding up their shorts and shit in practice.
He got the LeBron Tunnel.
The LeBron Tunnel.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. when it comes out in a couple weeks. When what's his name? What was the basketball guy? Scoop Jackson or your boy Stephen A.
Oh man, you make me feel like Hannibal Buress airing out Bill Cosby.
Talking about
we're airing out LeBron now.
LeBron's gonna get he's gonna magically his plane's gonna magically get searched by the ATF, and they're gonna find like 50 kilos
of hair plugs. He's moving them hair plugs across the border.
It's gonna be cocaine and hair plug boxes.
Them Super T formula packets that Frank Thomas is pushing on TV.
It
will help your hair growth and all.
It's all weight. It's gonna be like there's gonna be an expose on Lifetime called "The LeBron We Thought We Knew."
Surviving LeBron.
Surviving LeBron. What's the name gonna be in it with his mom?
Delonte West.
Delonte West. He's gonna be like the reason why.
Oh shit! That's getting messy. Crackhead Delonte West got him out from underneath the bridge.
What's his name? Isaiah Thomas is gonna be on that shit.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Air out LeBron.
Airing out LeBron. Chris Bosh. The dude with the dusty braids, Udonis Haslam.
Wayne Posey.
All the dudes he traded from Cleveland.
Rodney Hood. I just came to Cleveland, and then all of a sudden this nigga want to leave town. Like, what the fuck? Like, why the fuck you trade for me and you leave?
It had to be the drugs. Now he got a Cali connect.
Yeah. Oh man. He's dealing with them prime hair plugs.
And he about to try, and he doing movies right now. He's trying to like do like major production films.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's
that's
drug money, son.
He had Survivor's Remorse on Stars for a bit. That show was decent. I fell off after the second season. I don't know what happened with the third season. I know they're not back for a fourth, but hey.
Well, I mean, fuck it.
All right. I'm
on that note, as we done aired out all LeBron's fictional dirty laundry.
We're Hannibal Buress in his career. Taking him down with jokes. Oh, man.
Shout out to the Pistons. Label out.
My Knicks beat the Lakers last night.
Last night.
Let's go Knicks.
Yeah, Knicks.
I'm not even a Knicks fan. In the East, baby.
15th in the East.
Mm-hmm. East side.
15th. There's not 15 teams in the East, is it?
No, there's like 16.
Oh, shit.
We're 15th, baby. We're not last.
Hey, my Michigan Wolverines are undefeated right now, too. 14-0, baby. We're going to the championship this year.
March Madness.
March Madness.
All right.
Stay tuned for the bracket.
Oh, yeah.
The R&B Mount Rushmore bracket.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we got to get started
We got to get started on that so that we have it for the end of February so everybody can start voting. We got to come up with our number one seeds. Next week, we're going to release the number one seeds, I think.
Hey, me and my lady was talking about the Doobie Brothers. You think they're going to make it in that era?
Maybe.
Mike McDonald? Or even like the Gap Band?
Maybe. We have to just put all the names that we could think of out there and see who makes the 16 for the bracket.
Charlie Wilson without the Gap Band or Charlie Wilson with the Gap Band?
Decisions.
Stay
tuned. It's another Saturday morning conversation. It's your man, DJ Caveman, in the building.
DJ Iron Monkey holding it down.
We'll catch y'all next week. Thanks again, Amanda Lambros, coming through, giving us some relationship, sex therapy knowledge.
Yes, just put it in the butt.
Just put it in the butt. And when you do that, don't skimp on the lube.
Yes, silicone lube.
No cheap lube.
Yes. A dab will do you.
A dab will do you. It's a Saturday morning conversation. We out.
Peace.